Tuesday, 15th of April 2014. Here's the special update from Neil Keenan.
Yes, hi, this is an update again. You just had a written update from Keenan team. Goodness, what the heck's taking up on it? And the only thing you're not going to have trouble with here on occasion is the buses and the taxis and the people. We're hidden away pretty well here. This is the gates to Hindu behind me. Joe, can they see that, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And in front of me is probably what I consider to be the prettiest tree that I've seen. It's huge, and I'll give you a picture of it before I go. But there's some bugs and this thing here making noise. But, they caught my attention. Oh, fish too. Quite. Okay. Anyway, let me get to the update. This update is going to relate also to what you just read, but it's going to add some things to it, such as. Give me a second. We're in Paris right now, and I've been here meeting with people for 9 days, and things seem to be pretty good right now. As a matter of fact, one of the updates that we gave, part of the updates that we gave happened to be about no-fly zones, and we're working on that. As a matter of fact, we're hoping to complete this for Russia, China, and the rest of Asia, so that Obama, Cheney, Rothschild, Bushes, not any of the cabal can come in here and try to do here what they did in the Ukraine. I mean, Mr. Putin, President Putin did a wonderful job in the Ukraine, preventing them from coming in and doing what they've done to the rest of the world. I mean, I understand that the U.S. has to listen to their media. I'm American, I know I had to, and they also have to read their newspapers. And I would always only read the sports, so it didn't matter what they told me. I never believed them anyway. That's why I was always out of the country. Now, I've been talking to these people here from different places, different countries, and we're going to be writing something up, and it's probably going to be a demand that no-fly zones are placed intact as soon as possible, so that I can't call him our president. I can't call him Obama because I know his name is Santoro, and so the president of the corporation, U.S. corporation, is attempting to come over here and deal with foreign kings, sultans, whatever, presidents, again, of corporations, and he's hoping to create problems for Asia. And now, as you know, he's been going back and forth with Putin, and Putin spanked him pretty good. As a matter of fact, China is now more or less working alongside Russia in relation to what's happened. And we don't need a war. We, the American people, do not need a war created by Barry Soetoro and George Scherf, also nicknamed as Lips, which is a joke, but not a joke because he was also a president of the corporation. And the one we have now is a president of a corporation, and he's just as bad as the last one, if not worse. So, you know, I think from here on in, if you really want a president of anything, corporation, president of an outhouse, you want to make sure you know what kind of character he is and his sexual agenda, basically what he likes, you know, and so that you don't put some freak into the seat again. Now you already know about all the things he's done in Chicago at the Turkish bath spa, so I'm not going to tell you anything more about that. We already know about Scherf, George Bush Jr., being the same people, and also participating as a cheerleader, and nicknamed, which is sort of sick, not sort of sick, very sick, Lips, while he was in college at Yale. that's not what we need. We need real people. And we don't need Zionists, we don't need Khazars, and we don't sure as hell need Nazis. And over here we're gonna try to prevent them from flying. Over here we're gonna contain them, put them in a box, so that they can't fly and they can't create any more problems, especially in Asia. I would think President Putin, he is a president, he's a sovereign nation too, he's not a corporation. I think President Putin would most happily sign that agreement along with China in Asia to keep them out where they don't belong. If we can keep them out, if we can't keep them out and they do come in, I also suggested in meetings that we arrest them, that the Asia arrest them. We'll arrest them and detain them and charge them with war crime activities or criminal activities or terrorist activities. That whether it be Obama, Cheney, Rothschild, Rockefeller, or any of them, they all belong imprisoned, and they all belong tried, because we have chemtrails here too as well. We already know from what we've tested in the past with Dr. Group what the chemtrails comprise of, and it's not good. It's a killer, and they know throughout the world now that it's a killer. We don't need to be woken up twice or three times, do we? I mean, isn't enough enough? What they've done in Crimea, what they've done in Ukraine, what they've done in Donetsk. And I have a friend in Donetsk, and I pray that she's well. But what they've done is a horror. And I'm not talking about Russia. I'm talking about these mercenaries who are working for the corporation. I think we also, this is what we've talked about over here in these meetings. I think we also have to find, and I do agree with one of the comments in that I've read on in relation to the update that we just posted, that one woman stated that in California they went running up to these mercs who were running throughout their city, and she showed them pictures. They showed them pictures of their family and names of their family members, and they turned around and left. I think that's what you have to do. If you know who these people are, and you know who their family members are, then you should report it. You should to who? Maybe to the Keenan team, maybe to Drake, maybe to anyone that will do something with it. In our case, we will do something with it because we'll get it into the right hands. But we do believe that once we know who the family members are, they will stop. Because if they hurt us and our family, we hurt them and their family. This is a quid pro quo. This isn't a nice having a cup of tea meeting like some people that I know like. It's not like that. They're poisoning us. They're poisoning our families. They're poisoning our kids. Okay? And we're allowing it to happen because we're doing nothing. Well, the Indian government took down that chemtrail plane, and they have one. And they know what it is. And Russia knows what it is now too. And so do BRICS. And that's another story, by the way. BRICS met with the financial concerns in Washington, and they didn't want to share the pie. Washington doesn't have any pie whatsoever to share, really. I think BRICS was being kind going in there, offering them something, because the collateral accounts don't belong to Washington. They don't belong to a corporation, and they don't belong to any sovereign nation. They belong to the depositors of those accounts, which happen to be Dragon family. Sure, there was an agreement signed back years and years ago. There was an agreement in 1998, I believe, or 95, and that agreement was based upon everyone being honest, being truthful. And whereas the East has been truthful and remained truthful, we got our government, our Khazars, our Zionists, our Nazis, we've got them being dishonest not only with the foreign nations that signed that agreement. The Bretton Woods was another part of that agreement in the beginning, and which was all a con job in itself. Yeah, but that just bothered me. You know, it just bothered me. The bottom line to it all, what I'm trying to say is that there's nothing intact right now other than the fact that those assets belong to the depositors, okay, which happen to be 85% Dragon family. I don't think that like I said before, George Soros is wanted here anymore. He's also will be part of the no-fly list. The document will be drawn up within the next couple of days. It will be submitted to Obama and to Cheney the Rothschild, the Rockefeller, and so on. It should be in the hands of the the Russian and the Chinese government very shortly. And if and when they get that done, which should be a couple of days, I hope, then they will not be allowed to fly into Asia to create the problems they wish to do, because they failed again in the Ukraine. They've tried Syria. They were going to do Iran. And they were going to. They tried just recently Ukraine. Okay, it's all about Rothschild. Mr. Putin, President Putin, is right. The way to take care of a lot of this is take care of the Rothschild family. Okay, that's what he says, and I believe he's correct. But there's a lot more to it than that. You've got other families involved. You got the Bushes, like I said, who are up to their necks in alligators here. And you've also got the Rockefellers, who actually don't belong here. They're a bunch of reptiles. And when I say that, I don't mean they're shapeshifters or anything. They just look like horrible people. There's something in there. Might be a frog. We have a lizard that comes in the water over here at night and during the day called alu. Is it alu?
Alu.
Alu. And it looks like a miniature crocodile. You know, if he comes jumping out at me, I'm running. I don't care if you're watching me or not. He's not going to be biting my leg. I've been bitten by enough things. I don't want to be bitten anymore. And anyway, it's not alu, I don't think. But getting back to the situation here, they didn't want to split the pie in Washington with the East and other members, BRICS. So what did they have to split anyway? As a matter of fact, the East were being kind and conciliatory, offering them anything, because the dollar is just sure enough is dead. Don't go cashing it in yet because of me, but you know, I'm looking out for people I know. And I'm saying it's almost over. The Chinese and the Russians now are working together to buy things without using the petrodollar. And the Russians, the U.S. is not validating any of the debt that they owe. They more or less tossed it back. They don't want to validate it. And they won't say yes and they won't say no as to whether or not it's any good. And I'll show you some more on that in the next couple of days. But it's at the point now where if you shut them down and you keep them in the no-fly, outside the no-fly, they're not going to cause any trouble in the rest of the world. They're going to be causing trouble in their own world, which is the Western Hemisphere. And that's what we should do. We should keep them out. We should keep Cheney out. And we should start, I would believe, when we catch them doing things they shouldn't be doing or flying or whatever, we should arrest them and detain them, especially in the East. We should not let them go because my name's Dick Cheney. I'm an old man, and I'm sorry for killing so many people and screwing people for the last 100 years. You know, I'm in a wheelchair, give me a break. Well, you know, we've had a lot of people in wheelchairs, and we've had a lot of people who are sick, and the man just outright killed them. So we shouldn't be concerned about them, and we shouldn't talk about conciliatory meetings with them, whereas that's not what they want. They want a war. They want a third world war. I think, again, we've talked about it, in our military, we all believe, will stand down. They won't stand up. They will not fight for a corporation that's going out of their way to kill our mothers, fathers, and babies. We'll stand down. The sheriffs and everybody else, you've got some already working with them, already tied up, taking a lot of money, and they're on the payroll. And they're probably going to be one of the few that's allowed to live when this is over. Of the, 500 million that's supposed to live, or 600 million? And that's not it. Nevertheless, if things work out as they should, and as the conversations have gone, there will be no-fly zones for the Western, or the global elite. Western global elite. They will be stuck and they will stay in their own hemisphere, and I don't consider South America their hemisphere as well. We know what went down in that plane in India. They will be labeled as terrorists. Okay, they will be labeled as killer or murderers, well, terrorist is a good word. We can charge them whatever we want in the United States. They haven't committed treason because they're not citizens of the United States, in particular, Barry Soetoro. You know, he's He just lied about his name, which has to be some kind of crime, I would think, in the U.S. I mean, he did con you into becoming his president. I don't care if he's got gray hair now and we're scaring him, or Soros is scaring him. Bottom line is he's not our president, he's a corporate president. So it's up to you to do something about that.